Do you follow high school sports? The San Diego Union Tribune's free UT Preps app is the go-to source for your favorite high school sports teams. Get schedules, scores, standings, news, and more right on your phone. Follow your favorite high school team by sport. Share photos and videos right from the game. See rosters and player profiles complete with game-by-game statistics and receive push notifications for game updates. Don't miss any of the action at Oceanside, Chula Vista, Torrey Pines, and many more San Diego schools. Download the free UT Preps app on Google Play or the Apple App Store.
Welcome back to the San Diego Prep Insider Basketball Podcast. Tommy, Christian, and Aaron here with you.
Hey!
Happy to be with you here.
We're going to go through,
playoffs.
Welcome back, Tommy.
Playoffs?
Yeah. Huh?
I'm back. Playoffs are back. Almost. Playoffs are almost back.
Yes.
So we got a lot to get to. We're going to get to our top 10. We're going to get to our Dunkin' Dish. And then we got to get to our game picks. Excited, guys. This is going to be fun.
Let's go.
So
Yes.
we're going to start with our top 10. Aaron, who do you have in your top 10?
All right, well, a little bit of a shakeup. Not at the top, though. I actually still have Foothills, Cathedral, and Saints in that order. I'm giving Cathedral the benefit of the doubt. Their loss to Mission Bay was a tough loss, but Brandon McCoy didn't play the first half. Neither did a couple of other key contributors. Army-Navy still at 4. Number 5, El Camino. Number 6. What did I have at number 6? Well, we don't. That's neither here nor there. My big shakeup is that Poway's now not in the top 10 after loss to Canyon Crest. Sliding into the top 10 now, I have San Marcos after beating Escondido on one of the most amazing shots you've ever heard. I think you've seen the shot.
Yeah.
That's
I wore out the replay button on that one.
Tommy, did you see it?
I saw it on Twitter.
Crazy, right?
Great shot.
Yes.
And that's why San Marcos also slid into my top 10 as well.
Hey,
So I've
see?
got
Very nice thing.
Foothills number 1, Saints number 2, Cathedral number 3, Torrey Pines number 4, 5 is Army Navy, El Camino at 6, Mission Bay now at 7, Kearney 8, Country Day 9, and
San Marcos.
San Marcos 10. Hey.
Look at that. You know what? Actually, I think we have identical top 10s. I forgot about Torrey at 4. We have identical top 10s this week.
That's so boring.
Let's go. Yes.
See that? Great minds think alike. Anyway, moving from our top 10s to our Dunkin' Dish. Controversy, yeah. We'll get to that in a little bit, but we're going to start with a couple more Dunkin' Dishes. Our first one, Aaron, we'll start with you. Ramona will run away with the Division III title.
I'm going to dunk this one. I'm sold on Ramona. I had a chance to see them for the first time this year against Oceanside. The first thing that stands out about Ramona is their size across the court. Their guards are both 6'3", 6'4". Their bigs are between 6'3" and 6'6". That composite size is something that every team in Division III is going to have to deal with, and I don't think there's a team equipped with an answer for that. Now, going back to their guard play, Marco Cobian, a senior who just signed to the University of Chicago for football, is a very good guard. I mean, he was a Division II prospect before signing for football. Blake Seitz is one of the best shooters in San Diego. I was there when he broke the record for three-pointers in Ramona history.
Buckets,
hit
baby.
9 in a game. It was amazing. So
Buckets.
Right now, I mean, you look at the Division III field, Christian is solid. Madison, they play really good defense. There's a couple of other teams that might give some higher seeds a scare. I don't see anyone equipped to deal with Ramona. So I'm going to dunk that one emphatically.
We got one big dunk. Christian, what about you?
I will dunk it as well. You mentioned Cobian being going to play football in college. I think that also motivates him to, as you mentioned last week, be his swan song.
Go out with
and
a
that's
bang.
something that's powerful, is a player saying, okay, this is the last time I'm going to be doing this competitively. I've got to put it all out there.
Yes.
Combined with them being a high seed, they might represent the most dramatic home court advantage in the county, just being as far as they are and as loud as they are. So maybe not run away with the entire thing, because eventually the championship will be at neutral territory.
Right, yeah.
But you got to think that they are set up both physically in the way their team is built, and just in the fact that the last thing you want to do in the playoffs is
Drive all the way to
travel
Ramona.
all the way out to Ramona, where it's really hostile territory. So I would dunk it.
And speaking of that hostile territory, we will be there on Friday to film a game day segment for the TV show. So everyone go. They blew up our Twitter page yesterday.
It's just proof that if you ask, you shall receive.
So
Yes.
yeah, if you ask, you shall receive, and that is why the Ramona Bulldogs will be featured on the TV show. We'll be there on Friday. So please, everyone show up. Gabe, shout
Very
out to
nice.
Gabe, ASB guy, great job getting that done. So moving on to our next one, Christian, you can answer this one first. Kearney's self-imposed sanctions are a little fishy.
I'm gonna dish this one.
Okay.
I think initially the knee-jerk reaction from everybody would be to dunk this one and say all sorts of suspicious, nefarious things going on, and there may be some subconscious, deep-seated thing that kind of happened here, but I side on the air of no. Kearney did very little wrong. There was an article in the UT written by Don Norcross that said that he'd seen an email dated from December that CIF had received, but because the office was closed, it had fallen to the bottom of a inbox and all that. And granted, Don did graduate from Kearney, so there might be like some grand media conspiracy going on. I just doubt that. I'm going to say dish it. Kearney, yes, they will end up in the D1 instead of the open division, but I'm going to acquit them of all charges.
Aaron?
I'm not going to acquit them, but my dunk is not going to be as authoritative as it might have been a week ago.
Maybe like a Steph Curry just barely dunk?
Actually, he got one with two hands in the All-Star game.
Yeah, but...
A Tracy McGrady throwing it off the backboard of the celebrity game.
Yeah, okay, so here's why. Yes, they sent that email to CIF. Yes, CIF has acknowledged that we dropped the ball and didn't see it because it was in the bottom of our inbox. But the onus still falls on the team to follow through with every other step. And that includes going on max preps, changing that win to a forfeit, going on your going on the CIF power rankings, changing that win to a forfeit loss. They did none of those steps. They sat back and said, okay, we sent this email, everything's hunky-dory. Until a week before playoffs are seeded, and then all of a sudden everyone remembers, wait a second, we have a forfeit loss. Now, there may not have been that nefarious kind of conspiracy theory that, we're going to do this so that we don't have to play in the open division, but all of the scrutiny that they received, they brought on themselves for not following through with rules that every other team is also responsible for following through for. Give a perfect example. Torrey Pines. Torrey Pines has a forfeit loss this year. They reported it back in January. They played a player they should not have played. John Olive got a hold of CIF during the break, said we did this. They took the loss. They probably dropped from 3 to 4 as a result of that. But that was reported a month ago.
Right.
What takes them so long to do this? And yes, the fact that Don Norcross did graduate from Kearney, I love you, Don. You're my boy. We worked together for years. But couldn't somebody else have written the story?
No, there's no one left at the UT.
But that's,
as two former UT employees can testify, there's nobody left there.
Ghost Town.
I just want to say one kind of ultimate thing to this is that we would not be talking about this if this did not drop them out of open into D1. So I think that maybe some of the suspect circumstances are created on our end of this discussion. Whereas...
Well, I don't think so, because I think they were the ones who brought it up. In that article in the UT a month ago, they were the ones who said we would rather play in Division I than be in the open. Had they not said that, I don't think any of this would have been big of an issue.
Very true. And so this kind of gets us to our next Sucker Dish. Aaron, we'll get with you on this one first. The way the playoffs are seated now, if you don't make it in your Division II, it's not like you can go play Division III. Mm-hmm. So the playoffs should be redone so that the seeding of the divisions is done after the regular season ends. Dunk or dish?
You know what? I thought about this one a lot, and actually I'm going to dunk it, and here's why. Because the open division does not truly have all the top 10 teams or top 8 teams in the county, and it hasn't ever since its inception last year. La Jolla Country Day is arguably one of the top 8 teams in the county, but they're locked into Division II because that was the seeding that they were given at the beginning of the year. They could have, I think they could have requested a jump to Division I, but I don't think anyone expected them to have the type of season they're having right now. But when it's all said and done and the season is over and they've performed so well, they should get that opportunity. A team like Christian or a team like Ramona should get an opportunity to play in a higher, more competitive playoff than running away with a lower crown. So I think that's actually a good idea. So I'm going to dunk that one.
Christian?
I'm gonna. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna dunk it or dish it. I think in my heart of hearts, would love to kind of wipe the slate clean and reorganize it a little closer to the way that college does it, and have end of season tournaments per league, and then be able to pick, okay, you won the city, you won Metro, you won Avocado East, you get automatic bids to certain tournaments. We can't do that. We can't sit here and just demolish everything. But what I disagree with you is when you say that you'd rather be competing a level up. To me, that just spells potential disaster down the line for a school. If you say, okay, right now we are having a great year, so let's shoot up to D1 from D2 or D3. But you also are talking about a lot of teams that, like, let's take Ramona, for example, has seniors on their team right now that are leading them to that.
Yeah.
And if you hoist your team up 2 divisions for a group of seniors that can get it done at that level, but then it falls on the sophomores and freshmen that are now matriculating up to keep playing at that level.
But isn't that's how it is now?
Yeah, but when you reorg, exactly. I mean, that's what happened with El Cajon Valley last year. They won a Division III title. Then their coach bailed on them. Everyone graduated, and they're like 5-25, but they're still in Division III because unfortunately they couldn't move down given the circumstances. I think if you have,
well, I'm saying though, at the end of a season, if you can knee-jerk reaction apply for like. We want to be.
I wouldn't say apply though.
I kind of agree. Maybe the way I kind of see it is you play your whole season. It's like okay, here are our best 8 teams. Then the next best, and the next best. So, it's
but I don't think they're locked in next year. You know.
Yeah, I think that ultimately, back to the original dish or dunk it. Wait till the end of the season.
Okay.
Then do it.
Yeah.
Because you never know with 4 games left to go who really is where. Because I mean, all I need to say, Canyon Crest. They have caught fire the last 2-3 days or 2-3 games.
Yeah.
And if they play that out for another 3 games, they will throw a wrench into a lot of things, but you might want to say, okay, maybe they deserve a little higher seeding.
Agreed.
So.
Agreed.
All right, guys. Well, we got to move on to our game picks now.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Aaron took the lead last week after impressive little run.
My man.
So, wait, Christian, I gotta catch up.
Oh no, I'm fine bringing up the cellar.
Okay.
The one I missed was the one I thought was the easiest.
Well, we all missed it.
Oceanside and Orange Glen.
We blew it. Oceanside, we're sorry.
Mea culpa.
I apologize. Our fault. Anyway, moving on to this week. Hopefully we don't mess one up like that again. Starting with a couple teams we were talking about earlier. We were talking about Ramona. It's Madison going to Christian. Aaron, who do you have?
Madison going to Christian. Well, I think I'm going to pick Christian in this one. I like Madison's like I said, on the defensive end. They've got a bunch of senior guards who are very long, very athletic, and cause havoc on the ball. They struggle to score at times. They struggle mightily to score at times. Christian, I had a chance to see them play against Coronado last week, and they have a couple of players who actually really surprised me. One was Travis Ballard. He's a 6'6" senior looking at a bunch of Division IIIs, including MIT. If you're good enough to go to MIT, Christian. If you get accepted, you're going there, okay? But impressive shooter, 6'6" guy who can shoot from all over the court. And a baseball prospect, Kyle Stowers, who I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, but he's Stanford bound, but he is a really good basketball player.
Right.
I think that offensive firepower is going to trump the defense that Madison might bring and the tenuous offense. So I'm going to pick Christian.
I'll take Madison. I have seen the Warhawks end some games on some weird ways this season, but they always seem to come out with a W of those weird ways. And a team like that, yes, they don't have a explosive offense or a necessarily shut down defense, but they seem like an adapting team. Like they are ready at any moment to kind of be like, all right, well, we need to play a little bit more of this kind of game or a little bit more of that kind of game.
I can see that.
And then kind of their baseline consistent player has been Ethan Anderson all year, scoring just consistent amount of buckets, reliable. So I'll take Madison.
I'm going to go with Christian as well. And to your point, Star was a baseball kid. When we went to Kearney, we were there for a game. So granted, I was around in the crowd, and every time I look over the court, it was the same kid scoring a basket. And I remember I was like, oh, that's a nice little layup there. Oh my, you did it again, nice. Oh, it was a nice drive. And then eventually, I'm like, this is not a fluke. This kid, every single time, this kid can freaking play. And I was like, how's nobody talking about this kid? Yeah. So I'm going to go with Christian as well. We've got 2 good scorers, but that'll be a good game. I'm excited to see it. So moving on to our next one, Christian, you're going to pick this one first. Granite Hill is going to Mount Miguel.
I'll take Granite Hills. They are maybe a little bit of an overlooked talent in the county this season, so I'm not going to go against them. Yes. I will let my pick ride or die with the Eagles.
Yeah, I will take them as well. Keep it brief, similar reasons. Aaron, what do you think?
I saw them last week against Santana. They just wrapped up the league championship yesterday. They're 7 or 8-1 in league. Ryan Kelly might be a Division I prospect. The 6'7" wing / power forward that they have. He can shoot it from 3. He can post up. He can score off the drive. He rebounds. He blocks shots. He gets 50-50 balls. And he shines shoes on the sideline. Incredible talent. And I think talent, that singular talent is going to trump, Mount Miguel in this game. So I think it's a sweep for all three of us.
All right, we're all in Granite Hills. In third game, I'll pick it first again. I'm going to keep it brief as well. It's Patrick Henry going to Serra. I'm going to take the Patriots. Aaron, yeah.
I'm going to pick Serra.
Okay.
Just because.
Just because. I will join you on picking Serra. I think Serra kind of has the size advantage vertically over Patrick Henry. I've seen Serra win a couple of games where they had to have big buckets in the last minute or two of the game, and they have had them. So I will go with.
Let me add one quick thing. Quincy Farabee is back in the lineup for Serra. He was their starting point guard. He's been a stud for them for the past 2 seasons. Missed time because of academic ineligibility. He's back. They've been playing better.
You miss school, you miss out.
Yeah. True. So moving on to our next game, Aaron, you can take this one first. It's Scripps going to La Jolla.
Ooh. I'm gonna pick the home team La Jolla.
Oh, thank you.
They do a fairly good job protecting home court, especially against teams that are on par with them talent wise or slightly below them. Scripps has been, to their credit, they've been playing very good this season. They've been one of the surprises in the county. I love Carson Denherter, the senior. I think Baturi Kayonku is really coming to his own. But Reed Farley, ladies and gentlemen, that kid is a stud. And Eddie Parker is a great player too. But I think it's that home crowd that puts them over the top and avenges the loss they had to Scripps Ranch earlier in the year.
Speaking of home crowd, the homer.
What can I say? I'm very proud of the fact that I was part of that home crowd advantage for 4 years with my Viking horns and my red and black face paint and my no social life.
He's not.
Reed Farley, as you said, he's a one-man band. The kid can do a little bit of everything, and he's doing this all while not necessarily playing his natural position. Mm-hmm. I think he'd like to be scoring a little bit more aggressively as opposed to
playing point guard.
Playing a true point guard, and he does play a true point guard. He doesn't play an Allen Iverson, me type of point guard. He's dishing out a lot of assists, so I'm going to go with La Jolla, but this is by no means a slam dunk of a win. It's going to be a dogfight to the end.
Oh, of course.
And because La Jolla, I've seen some games where they've won, but they've played down to the level of the team that they've beat.
And if they play down to Scripps, they could be in trouble. Good team.
I'm going to take La Jolla too. I do have one problem with what you said. Allen Iverson is my favorite player growing up.
Oh, no, AI is the best of all time. I love AI.
Magic Johnson.
Listen, if you cross up Jordan, that's game.
All right, our final game, Christian, you go to this one. It's a couple teams we haven't talked about yet all year. We're trying to get to as many teams as possible. It's going to be Escondido Charter going to Pacific Ridge. Who do you have?
I will take Pacific Ridge. I speak a lot of home court advantage, plus they are reigning D4 champions.
That was an incredible game last year.
And you got to think that having some carryover from your D4 championship team going into the playoffs, they know how to win down the road. They'll shut it down.
I'm going to take Pacific Ridge as well. Just really quick, I got to visit their campus about a month ago. It's a small campus, but so nice.
It is gorgeous.
It is a nice campus, Aaron. What do you think?
The Firebirds did win D4 last year. They graduated a lot of guys, but they're 6-1 in league right now. They're tied for first. Escondido Charter has a very good scoring guard by the name of Josh Brown. I've talked with their coach several times about him, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play during the playoffs. But the home court advantage for the Firebirds has been very good to them over the last few years. So it's a sweep again. I'm picking Pacific Ridge.
All right, all of us are Pacific Ridge. So take a look at the graphic. Here are all of our picks for this week. It's coming down to the wire for us as well. I know all these teams are going to play us, but we are neck and neck towards the stretch here. So, guys,
I'm just going to say scrap it and all the way until next season.
Anything you guys want to say before we sign off?
I mean, I've always ranted about fan sections. You guys have been getting better and better and better every week that we go to games. More entertaining. If anyone wants to hit us up on Twitter and tell us where to go down the playoffs, we'll be there. Yep. Like Ramona, you set the trend.
Definitely.
Send us dog emojis, and that's apparently how you convey everything in the modern way.
Aaron, anything you got?
Looking forward to Saturday playoff selection. It has always been the Wild West in some of those meetings. Last year, it came down to Patrick Henry and Oceanside for the last seed, and it looked like Oceanside would, by every metric, should have been in the playoffs as the 16th seed, and also given the fact they had a Division I player, Will Christmas, on their team. And it came down to a 6-5 vote, and the six coaches who voted were all from down south. So I'm looking forward to playoff selection. I'm pretty sure it will be as entertaining as it has been in years past. And guys, just gear up and get ready for the playoffs.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're excited. We'll see you guys next time. We'll be talking about playoffs, so can't wait to get there.
Playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Playoffs.
See y'all next week.